this actually made me think, could robots serve as an impetus to human connection and not a threat to it? I was watching this year's CCTV Spring Festival Gala on Chinese New Year's Eve a couple of nights ago, and man, the humanoid robots performances, they took center stage, and they're all the rage online right now. I gotta say, I was impressed, but not exactly surprised. 看好中国，积极向上. Now, without getting into the technicalities of the robots, what I found impressive or interesting was actually a comedy skit. And boy, I had fun watching it. It was witty, it was funny, it was endearing.
二弟他们好翻，我个儿这么高，我不好翻。你想拿什么高东西的时候，不还得指着我这个？
Just great script writing, acting, and storytelling coming all together. Now, it revolved around a grandmother living well with her robots.
这都是我的大孙子。奶奶奶奶奶奶。
Or as she calls them, her grandkids. And as I was watching it, a couple of things stood out to me. Number one, China is publicly backing and showcasing its robotic ambitions, so it's no longer just quiet R&D. And we're talking about one of the most watched TV programs in the world. From what I've observed, something usually doesn't get that kind of stage or spotlight unless you have the 实力 or substance to show for it. And to me, it's a signal of confidence. It normalizes the idea of robots integrating into our everyday lives.
他们能照顾我，还能帮我洗衣服呢。你看，洗刷刷，洗刷刷，洗刷刷，洗刷刷。
Number 2, the setting. The skit centers around an elderly grandmother who, by the way, is still full of life, exercises, and independent. As China grapples with an aging society, this seems apt. Now the robots help with dishes, doing laundry, they can even crack jokes.
奶奶奶奶，我来给您讲个笑话。
你都没有嘴，你讲什么笑话啊
12生肖里哪个动物最招人烦？是鸡，因为机器人。
不是，有这么好笑吗？
They keep her company, especially in the absence of her grandson. Yes, it could be staged, programmed, and orchestrated, but I believe that storytelling lowers resistance. And what it does is that it gives you a near real glimpse into what living with a robot could look and feel like. It almost feels acceptable and warm even. Maybe not as threatening, and I guess humor also makes it easier to accept.
奶奶他们就会耍嘴皮子，那他们会的我都会。
是吗？他们会的你都会。
我都会啊。
来一个，
来一个。
怎么可能？
That said, you sense tension. Was the grandson jealous?
什么客人？你少在这鸠占鹊巢啊！我告诉你，这是我家，听着没有？
干什么干什么？我说哥哥啊，
他还会哭呢。
Which brings me to the third and most important point. The skit ends with the grandmother saying, "Robots can't replace my grandson."
不还是喜欢机器孙子吗？
净瞎说，机器人永远代替不了我的大孙子。
She's been knitting him a scarf, and every day that he doesn't visit, she keeps knitting, and that's why the scarf is so long.
暖和吗？
都有点热了。奶奶，您怎么织这么长啊？像混天绫给我套上了似的。
不是等你嘛？奶奶想着你来了我就收针儿，所以就这么等啊等啊，等啊等啊，就把我小天放给等回来喽。
Now, the story begins with the possibility that robots could replace his presence, but it ends by reaffirming something else. Robots might keep the elderly company. And don't get me wrong, they can serve a purpose, especially when it comes to the more laborious, dirty, and nitty-gritty tasks. But can they replace love? And this actually made me think, could robots serve as an impetus to human connection and not a threat to it? Many fear robots will replace our jobs, but what if they replace our presence, our roles as daughters, sons, grandchildren? Will we, because of the fear of being irrelevant to our loved ones, feel the pressure by robots to perhaps show up better, to remind us of what matters? Are robots the villain, or are they the mirror? Of course, it's more nuanced and there are a lot of ways to go about this, but maybe I'm overthinking, but it's food for thought, right? How would you feel if your loved ones preferred a robot over you? And maybe that's what good storytelling does. It makes you laugh, And then it makes you reflect.